Monday is coming, alarm clocks will sound, but as for the back to school chaos, it's not gonna happen this year, parents, because from morning routines to homework stations, we have got you. And that's because we've got professional organizer Tonia Tomlin of Sorted Out. She's here to help you get organized and stay sane and set your kids up for a smooth, stress-free school year. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning.
I'm so glad to have you back.
Thank you for having me.
Your tips are wonderful because they're approachable, they're easy to apply, and best of all, you really are setting yourself, your entire family up for success. So why do you say it's so important to get that ball rolling, to get things organized now before that school bell officially rings?
Yes, it's so important to start with healthy habits now, because when school starts, it gets chaotic with all the schedules and menu planning and all the homework and all the things that we have going on. And if you don't set yourself up at least a week before, you're gonna get into the routines and you're gonna feel very overwhelmed. The kids are tired and you're just like, complete chaos.
You're exactly right, because also adjusting the time schedules is really important. You know, no more staying up till midnight, waking up around at the crack of 11. You know what I mean? You've got to get them starting, and that's another thing that you say that we have to start now.
Yes, so I always recommend to parents, okay, it's, summer's over, but start a week before school starts if you can. And if you can't, at least 3 to 4 days, because, we're all used to like, oh, it's 10 o'clock, let's get to bed. Oh, wait, we have school. So I always say back up your minutes, 15 minutes every night until you get to that bedtime, that you want to shoot for. So it'll allow you that time. And, kids need sleep. We're learning, their brains are on fire at school and all the new routines and schedules and everything. So really back up 15 minutes every night until
it's
you're
a
ready.
mind overload, so you need to make sure your body is rested and prepared. All right, you always bring so many great tips here. I want to get to some of the stuff that you have here on the table. What are you suggesting as far as getting things ready, a homework station, all of that jazz?
Yes, so a homework station is really essential. Usually the second week of school, you have the folder come home and it's like, okay, we got to do this homework and that homework. So have a designated area that is a homework hub, and have it stocked with pens, pencils, ruler, scissors, whatever you need for homework supplies for age appropriate, obviously, and revisit that, maybe a month later and restock it. So keeping yourself maintained in this homework area. So your son or daughter is focused in that area and you can hold them accountable for that homework time.
All right, and the items that you have here really are conducive for organizing. Coming up with the schedule that I see over here, making sure that you've got color-coded folders and also notebooks, and making the station neat but at the same time approachable.
Yes, and if you have the appropriate supplies, remember, kids are very visual, so we have to make sure that we have to learn how they think, and kids are very, very visual and tactile. So you have to figure out what kind of organized child your children are at home, because we have to have, things at our fingertips, easily accessible. And if they're color coding for their subjects, then have the right supplies available to them.
Menu planning is also essential.
Oh my gosh, yes. I can't tell you how many times parents say, oh my gosh, what's for dinner? And getting back into the routine of things, if you don't have your menu planned out. So I always recommend on Sunday evenings, if you could just, write down, I use the Sorted Out menu planner, it's my favorite. I use it for myself and my family. And, just, write out, what do we want? Ask your children, what are you in the mood for? So you can have a plan. So when you have sports, you have homework, and then all of a sudden it's home, it's dinner time. You don't have that dreaded question, what's for dinner?
Okay, also you say, one of the things, you have some really defined tips. What would you say is your #1 tip for getting kids and the family organized for back to school?
Yes, this is huge, because we always say, okay, we're going to get organized, we're going to stick to this routine, but here's where parents and children, fail miserably at this, is they don't maintain the space.
Right. Oh,
So
I see. Okay.
If you don't maintain your space, then you're going to get into the same chaos mode, and you're like, oh, well, I didn't restock my supplies, I didn't restock the paper. And so they get into that same rut of, oh, I'm disorganized again. So you have to schedule maintenance for yourself.
All right, real quick, where can people find you?
Yes, and if you have them, email us at info@sortout.com. We are giving away all of this. I shop at Container Store. And if you have a messy desk homework area, please email us because we want to give this to somebody who's in need.
That is so great.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
You're
What
welcome.
a nice little back to school break. We appreciate it.